In the warm glow of a small-town community center, where neighbors still greeted one another by name and genuine conversations filled the air, Karoline Leavitt felt a deep connection to the people around her. The inviting aroma of freshly brewed coffee mingled with the sweet scent of warm pastries, creating an atmosphere that felt like home. It was during evenings like these, when soft jazz played in the background and gentle laughter drifted through the room, that Karoline's heart swelled with the simple joy of human connection. That evening, as she stood behind a table neatly arranged with informative flyers, Karoline was not seeking the spotlight. Instead, she cherished these moments as opportunities to share in the unspoken stories and quiet miracles that unfolded among strangers turned friends. But as the night progressed, an unexpected moment would soon take her back to memories of loss and renewal. A subtle tug on her sleeve caught her attention. Looking down, Karoline saw a little girl, no more than 7 years old, with a cascade of chestnut curls framing her cherubic face. The child's eyes, wide with curiosity, fixed on the delicate gold cross resting against Karoline's collarbone. In a small, clear voice filled with both innocence and quiet wisdom, the girl asked, "Ma'am, what does your necklace mean?" In that instant, the chatter of the room seemed to fade into a hushed backdrop. Karoline knelt to meet the child's gaze, her voice soft and reassuring as she asked, "What's your name, sweetheart?" After a brief pause, the little girl replied, "Samantha." Smiling warmly, Karoline said, "It's so nice to meet you, Samantha." As Samantha's gaze remained locked on the shimmering cross, memories began to resurface. Memories of a time when that very necklace had carried a meaning far greater than its delicate appearance. Years earlier, when Karoline was a young college freshman at Belmont University, life was a whirlwind of classes, part-time jobs, and the quiet struggle of feeling out of place. Amid the academic chaos and personal uncertainties, an unexpected phone call one fateful night shattered her world. In the dim light of her dorm room, as she pored over textbooks and fought fatigue, her phone vibrated with an urgent call. Hesitant at first, Karoline answered, only to be met with her mother's trembling voice delivering the devastating news. Her beloved grandmother had passed away suddenly from a heart attack. That night, overwhelmed by grief and disbelief, Karoline's world fell silent. The following morning, she set out on a journey back to her childhood home, a place that now seemed hauntingly empty. Every familiar corner whispered memories of her grandmother, whose gentle presence had once filled the room with love and warmth. In the quiet solitude of her grandmother's bedroom, Karoline's eyes were drawn to a small, unassuming object resting atop an old family Bible, a delicate gold chain with a cross pendant, worn every day by the woman who had been her pillar of strength. At first, Karoline had seen the necklace as merely an accessory, but in the lonely hours following her grandmother's passing, it transformed into a powerful symbol, a tangible reminder of love, faith, and the unyielding hope that lingered even in the darkest moments. Clutching the cold metal in her hand, she recalled the countless times her grandmother's words of faith had comforted her. Yet now, with every touch, the necklace carried the bittersweet weight of loss and the promise of healing. In that dimly lit room, as Karoline silently wept, she questioned the cruel twists of fate. "Why must someone so full of love be taken away?" she whispered into the stillness, longing for a sign of understanding. And though no miraculous answer came, within the quiet of that night, her heart began to ease, if only slightly, as if the necklace itself had shared a secret message. Even in our deepest sorrow, there is the gentle promise of a new beginning. Back at the community center that evening, Samantha's innocent question stirred something deep within Karoline. In the little girl's eyes, Karoline saw the reflection of her own past, a time when she had needed someone to explain the profound significance of that cherished necklace. With tears glistening briefly in her eyes, Karoline began, "Samantha, my grandmother gave me this necklace. At first I thought it was just a pretty piece of jewelry, but after she passed, I realized it was so much more. It was a reminder that even when everything seems dark, there is a light inside us that never goes out." Samantha's small fingers moved almost imperceptibly as she absorbed every word, her eyes softening with a mix of curiosity and empathy. Sensing the weight of the moment, Karoline slowly unclasped the necklace from around her neck. "I want you to have this," she said gently, extending the treasured pendant toward the child. "Whenever you wear it, remember that you are never alone, even on the days when everything feels too heavy." This simple yet profound act created a ripple that spread through the room. Conversations paused, and a palpable silence filled the space as those present absorbed the beauty of an unspoken promise. In that fleeting moment, the community center transformed into a sanctuary of shared vulnerability and hope. People exchanged supportive glances, and strangers offered kind words and small gestures that together formed a tapestry of compassion. In the days and weeks that followed, Karoline continued to reflect on that evening. The necklace had come to symbolize more than just personal loss. It was a beacon of shared humanity, a reminder that in the act of giving, we also receive. She recalled the many times in her life when a small kindness had made an enormous difference, and it reaffirmed her belief that each of us carries within a light capable of dispelling even the darkest of shadows. Her story resonated with many. Over time, Karoline began to share her experiences more openly, speaking at community gatherings and reaching out to those in need of comfort. Whether it was a quiet conversation in the student lounge or a heartfelt exchange in the midst of everyday challenges, she always found that her journey from grief to hope had a universal message. Even in the wake of profound loss, love and compassion can spark a rebirth of the spirit. As weeks turned into months, the memory of that special evening at the community center remained with Karoline. The simple act of giving the necklace to Samantha had set in motion a chain of small, meaningful gestures. Neighbors, touched by the story, began to look out for one another more sincerely. A local man, moved by compassion, discreetly handed a small envelope with cash to a struggling mother, while another community member offered a gift card to help with groceries. One by one, these acts of kindness wove a stronger fabric of community resilience and mutual care. Karoline's heart swelled with quiet pride each time she witnessed such moments of generosity. They reminded her that the smallest acts of love could ignite hope in the most unexpected places. She often thought about the significance of that night, the way a little girl's inquiry had led to a celebration of human connection, transforming sorrow into a shared journey of healing. Every kind word, every supportive gesture served as a reminder that, no matter how heavy our burdens, we are never truly alone. As Karoline left the community center that night and stepped into the cool embrace of the evening, the sky was painted with hues of deep blues and soft oranges. The first stars began to twinkle overhead, each one a silent witness to the promise of new beginnings. In that serene moment, Karoline felt a renewed sense of purpose and an unwavering commitment to carry forward the legacy of hope and kindness. The necklace, now resting with Samantha, had become a symbol of transformation, a tangible reminder that loss can lead to rebirth, and that every ending holds the seed of a new beginning. If this story touches your heart, share it with someone who might need a little light in their darkness. Remember, even the smallest act of kindness can ripple outwards and change the world. Thank you for watching, and if you believe in the power of hope and human connection, please subscribe for more stories that remind us of the beauty within each of us. Every step forward is a step toward healing. Even in our darkest moments, love and faith can guide us home.